Turning, looking, see.
It is game one of a three-game set between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. The Yankees will look to Jordan Montgomery, who has been pitching very well, trying to pick up his third win of the year against Vladimir Guerrero and the Jays. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. Gentlemen, we got to talk about the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0. It is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all, and it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. You got the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You guys know all about that. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. That's a fantastic tool that every guy can use. The Ultra Premium Body Wash. I actually have some of this stuff. It smells really good. Same with the 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner. But my favorite part of this package is the boxer shorts. These are the most comfortable boxer shorts I've ever worn, and I think you'll like them too. They're very light, very flexible, and they'll keep your boys dry. Visit manscaped.com and use the code NYY Recaps, that's all one word, and you will get 20% off and free shipping on your order of the Platinum Package 4.0, the best deal yet, and your balls will thank you. Happy Friday, everybody! Wow, since the Yankees began 7-6 this season, they are now 41-10 over their next 50 games. Outstanding.
More of that.
I remember in 1998, I was worried about the Yankees playing the Indians in the playoffs because the Indians had knocked the Yankees out the previous year in 97. And my dad said to me almost nonchalantly, nobody's beating the Yankees this year. He'd seen it a number of times, and he knew what a championship team looked like when he saw one. The very second that Anthony Rizzo's grand slam hit the facing of the second deck tonight, I found myself reflexively repeating those words in the same way. Nobody's beaten the Yankees this year. 8 in a row, a blowout in enemy territory, a laugher. What a night. A lot more Yankees are starting to grow the mustache these days. I saw Joey Gallo's even growing one. Tonight, he actually grew a swing, too. Weird lineup tonight. Aaron Judge in the leadoff spot, Josh Donaldson in the number 2 spot. And, I mean, how can we question Aaron Boone anymore? Because this lineup put up 12 runs. So, hey, it is what it is. They've got some kind of formula. They know what's going to happen, it seems. The Yankees just win every single night. Jordan Montgomery was on fire out of the gate. He struck out the first 2 hitters of the game and worked a scoreless first inning. Top 2, Giancarlo Stanton walked and DJ LeMahieu singled on a line drive to right field to set things up with 2 men on and nobody out. Both runners, though, were stranded. Seemed at the time like a missed opportunity. Missed opportunity for an even bigger blowout, it turned out. Top 3, Yankees got 2 hits on beautiful pieces of hitting by Judge and Rizzo. Rizzo had a really good night. But the Yankees, again, stranded both runners, missed another opportunity. Top 4, DJ LeMahieu picked up another single on a sharp line drive to right field. He seems like he might be coming around again. Imagine if he ever gets going back to 2020 levels. It's going to be bonkers. Next batter was Gleyber Torres. He scalded one into the left field gap. That tied the game at 1 at that point. First run of the game for the Yankees. Yankees got another run on a productive ground out from Higashioka to go up 2-1. RBI infield single from Judge made it 3-1. Great pick by DJ LeMahieu in the 4th. He was really picking it all night at third base, and he was getting a ton of action over there. Jordan Montgomery had the cutter working, and with that nice soft turf, he was getting, a lot of I guess true but fast bounces. Top 5, the offense broke out in a really fun way. Giancarlo Stanton smoked an opposite field 2-run home run on a pitch that I have no idea how he hit it out of the ballpark. 14th home run of the season. That made it 4-1.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Next batter was DJ LeMahieu, and he pulverized one over the left field wall to make it 5-1, 6th home run of the year for DJ. Next batter was Gleyber Torres. He doubled. Next batter was Gallo. He doubled. That made it 6-1. One of Gallo's rare RBIs that wasn't himself. Next batter was IKF. He singled. Then they walked Judge, and then BAM!
That ball is high.
Anthony Rizzo
far. It is gone.
made it 10-1. His 17th home run of the season. Sorry, is that 16 or 17? I may have got that wrong in the box score there. So just to recap that inning, Yankees almost homered for the cycle in that one inning. They had a 2-run shot from Giancarlo. They had a solo shot from DJ, and then a grand slam from Rizzo, and that was Rizzo's 17th home run of the season. So I'll go ahead and make that edit on the screen real quick. Bear with me. All right. So, 8-run 5th inning for the Yankees. They win their 8th in a row. Blue Jays got one back from a solo home run from Alejandro Kirk in the 6th. But for some reason, they did their little jacket celebration. Pretty lame when you're down 8 runs, if you ask me. Final line from Jordan Montgomery. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. 3rd win of the year for Jordan Montgomery. His ERA is down to 2.72. Really nice job by Monty. Top 9, Joey Gallo smoked his 9th home run of the season, 2nd hit of the night. That made it 12-3, and the Yankees hang on to win a nail-biter.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
More of that, please.
Joe Meza says, is that the most run support Monty has ever gotten? It seems like it. You know, he goes weeks and weeks at a time where he doesn't get any run, but it seems like the last couple of times out, the offense has really showed up for him. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score, because this was a fun box score to look at tonight. Saw a funny quote from Bruce P. Says, Yankees win 2 out of 3 against the Mets, and then we'll hear that the Yankees haven't played L.A. Give me a break. 100% agree. It seems like MLB is the fans are holding the Yankees to a standard that doesn't exist. I mean, they're beating the teams that get put in front of them, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Red Sox, beat them. Blue Jays, beat them. Rays, beat them. And when the Astros come to town next week, we're going to beat them too. Aaron Judge, 2 for 5 tonight. Josh Donaldson, 1 for 5, hitting .231. Rizzo, really starting to climb with the batting average. I think it was Jack Curry called him the best .220 hitter in Major League Baseball last night. He was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and a walk. .830 OPS on the season. Stanton with his 14th home run of the year, 2 ribbies. He now has 42 RBI on the season. DJ LeMahieu with a big 3-hit night. Maybe he's breaking out of it, back up over 260. Gleyber Torres, 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI. Joey Gallo, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He's up to 191. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, 1 for 5 on the night, hitting .268. And Kyle Higashioka takes the collar, hitting .168 on the season. Looking at the pitching, Jordan Montgomery, another really solid quality start, 3-1 on the year. Manny Banuelos went 1 in the 3rd innings tonight. Did give up 1 run, had a couple of walks, was not as sharp as he has been. Miguel Castro got a couple of outs, and Lucas Littke polished it off. So a really good night for the Yankees tonight. Let's get to your reactions. Riley Moore says Gallo is a vampire. He keeps coming back from the dead. I'll take it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Jordan Martin says, we need to savor this season. This is a special team. They want to win every single game. This team is just evil, and I love it.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Wampag Doodle says, it's good. It motivates us and makes our team to not let their guard down as a fan base, not letting our guard down. I think we're all kind of traumatized by a lot of early exits in the playoffs. But this team is different. This team is just not going to be denied. I mean, it is June 17th today, and I think that as of right now, nobody can beat the Yankees with their current roster. Maybe somebody upgrades, adds something else. Maybe the Mets get Scherzer and DeGrom healthy. But right now, I don't think anybody is touching the Yankees at all. Stephen Curry says, NBA camps. Let's go dub N. NBA camps. Appreciate the dono. Let's see here. Anthony Segarra says, Evil Empire is back. They are not messing around. I mean, how many times last year did they have any games like they've had tonight? And they've had several of these type of games this year. I can't remember many laughers at all last year. Pensera says jacket celebration is lame.
I hardly agree.
LV Sure says only special if we close the deal.
Absolutely. Hey.
I mean, just look at the 2001 Mariners. Not a lot of people talk about them, except as a footnote, because they won 116 games during the regular season. And they were just walking over teams just like this. They were just cruising by teams. Nobody could stop Ichiro that year. I think he hit 350, stole a million bases. I think that team had A-Rod. I think they had A-Rod. Maybe not. I think maybe he actually, you know what? I think he had already gone to Texas because he was with Texas for 3 years. So he was 2001, 2002, and 2003 in Texas. So they lost A-Rod. I think they had Edgar Martinez still, but it doesn't matter. They didn't win the World Series. Yankees knocked them out of the playoffs. TM17 says, Donaldson is so disappointing. I'm not going to argue with you. I was hoping he would do better, but honestly, he's one of the few people on the team that I think has been a little bit of a disappointment this year. Peter Ty says the boss would be proud of this team. Let's hear it for the boss. Hashtag boss in the comments. Yankees Press says he doesn't speak 2021 language. Yeah, we typically try and avoid talking about that team here, but it's worth remembering as a contrast when you think about how good this year's team has been. Steve Rickovicius says, stay healthy and we can bring in some players. Yeah, staying healthy is going to be huge. That's one thing the Yankees have mostly avoided is the injury bug. But I mean, anything can change the tenor with this team in a heartbeat. If you lose somebody like Garrett Cole or Aaron Judge or Clay Holmes, those are three guys off the top of my head that I don't think you can continue to play at this level without. Nestor Cortez, he's so reliable. I don't think you can continue without him as well. Not so family fun vision, still holding the 2001 World Series loss against Mo. That was a tough one. That was one of the most depressing losses of my entire life. I'm not going to lie. What made it worse is that he was a buzzsaw in the 8th inning of that game. He came in and just completely dominated the Diamondbacks. And then it was just like it was a broken bat. It was an error. It was just like, it wasn't like he got clobbered. It was just like a series of unfortunate events that took Mo down. And that was right after 9/11, and everybody was down and in a bad mood. And, typically when you lose in the World Series, it's like, well, at least we made it. We got, especially if you play all 7, it's like we got to play as long as possible. Hell of a season. Get them next year. But that was like the end of an era. O'Neill was retiring. We found out later that Scott Brocious was retiring. We knew Tino was going to leave. And so that one felt really bad. I really wanted that group to go out undefeated in the World Series. Prince Boss says this would be Cashman's magnum opus if this team wins the World Series. And you get a ding for the great vocabulary. Is that what MO stands for? Is that modus operandi? Magnum opus is like, that's like when somebody creates their greatest symphony or something, right? Or their longest book. Pikachu Vu whatever says, I was at the game today. Congratulations. Seems like a fun one. Let's see here. So tomorrow, first of all, Riley Moore says, is Tyone 6-1 or 5-1? I think he's 7-1. I think Jamison Tyone is 7-1. Let's find out for sure. So tomorrow's going to be a tough one. They got Alek Manoah on the mound for the Blue Jays. He gives the Yankees fits. He gives everybody fits. Jamison Tyone, pulling up his stats, is 7-1 with a 2.93 ERA, 1.049 WHIP, and 67 2/3 innings. So he's done a really outstanding job. I always forget how big he is. He's 6'5", 230 pounds. All right. LV Sure says Tyone tomorrow and Sevy Sunday. Yes, Sevy was on the COVID IL, but they announced before the game he is returning on Sunday. I will miss tomorrow's game. I'm not doing a live show. I might do a quick recap if the Yankees win. I'll do one of those, 3-minute highlight recap videos. That'll be fun. And then Sunday, I'm going to miss it entirely because I'm going to have to watch the game a few hours later than everyone else. So don't spoil it. Ouroboros says 2002 was more disappointing than 2001. The Angels didn't even win their division that year. But you could kind of see 2002 coming. The Yankees didn't have much pitching. Wells, I think Wells was on that team, right? And he didn't have it. You could kind of see that one coming. That one didn't feel like the dynasty teams. They felt like a collection of parts. They didn't have that same cohesive group feel. William M. says, Gallo still must go at the trade deadline. Why wait? Why wait?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Magnum Opus is a masterpiece. All right, sounds good. Will Starr wants Carpenter to play tomorrow. I would love to see Carpenter play. Get the true mustache gang out there.
Absolutely, hey.
Andy Yang says Guerrero Jr. not as good this year. Sometimes the league can figure guys out. I mean, he came from out of nowhere last year. I mean, everybody knew he was a pretty good prospect, but it's not like he dominated from the get-go. Last year, he really came into camp in shape and turned it on and had an outstanding season. This year, the league was ready for him, and they're making their adjustments. You remember Aaron Judge, after his unbelievable 2017, he was having a pretty good 2018 before he got hurt, but he wasn't going to hit 50 home runs. He was probably going to drop about 10 bombs. He was going to hit about 40, 41 maybe, but he got hurt. The league makes adjustments. Let's see here. AK12 says, any thoughts on Judge's contract while we're on the Judge topic? I think it could happen. I mean, we're 5 days away from the ARB deadline. I don't think the Yankees want to face off against this guy at an arbitration hearing and tell him all the reasons that they don't want to pay him these extra couple of $1 million when it's clear that they want to re-sign him. That creates bad blood. I think the same thing happened with Dellin Betances, and you just can't allow that to happen. Wayne Wilcox says, let's sweep the Rays and then go beat up the Rays again. Sweep the Jays and then beat the Rays. Kobe Jeet says, Soto sucks as bad as Gallo this year. I don't think that's the case. Let's pull up Soto's number. Juan Soto. It's weird how there's a lot of really good hitters that are just off to bad starts. Juan Soto's hitting .224, so he is hitting 30 points higher than Joey Gallo. He's got 13 home runs, so he's got 4 more dingers. He's got 28 ribbies. That's a lot more than Gallo has. 5 stolen bases. He's got a .372 on-base percentage and a 2.1 wins above replacement. So he's having a great year in everything except batting average. And a lot of guys' batting averages are trash this year. I would still take Juan Soto over Joey Gallo if you're asking me. It's not really a debate. Joe Catano with the Super Dono says, is it time to give Cashman credit for this team? I'd like to direct your attention to my episode of The Frieze this morning, where I have a segment where we give credit to Cashman for not only assembling a team, but assembling the coaching staff. So appreciate the dono. Not So Family Fun Vision says, Soto bad for his standards, as in 135 weighted runs created plus. Still damn good, and still damn better than Joey Gallo or Aaron Hicks. Or just replace one of them. Hoodie says, what happens with Davey? He's kind of wasting a spot on the 40-man roster. I agree. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I think he's a candidate to be dealt. Stone Cold says, I don't think anyone would take Gallo if they trade him.
Excellent.
Appreciate the dono. It will be tough to move Joey Gallo because he doesn't bring you a lot of value. But if someone believes that he'll thrive in kind of a lesser environment, you might bring him in just so that he can get used to the environment so that you know what you're getting if you choose to sign him. So, all right, guys. Looks like we're everybody's pretty stoked about tonight's victory. 8 wins in a row for the Yankees. Sorry, my voice is going a little bit tonight. That is they're 40. Is that 47? 48. Wow. 48-16. Unbelievable. One more time from John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
More of that, please.
William M says Gallo would be great in Pittsburgh. I don't think they would want to pay him, and if I was in Pittsburgh, I wouldn't even pick up the phone if Brian Cashman were calling. And then Aaron Judge says, hey guys, W, appreciate the dono. We're going to call it a night. Thanks everybody for joining. 8 in a row. I will see you on Monday.